nine days ago, I posted my last video, and I've been wanting to upload at least once a week for the month. I mean, not even for the month, for the year of 2026. So, I've had a lot. I've had a lot of things going on in my life. So, hey everyone, welcome back to my entrepreneur diaries. My name is Diamond. I am growing Warm Pages, which is for right now, a online bookstore where we highlight Black women authors, and that's kind of pretty much what we do. I want to have a physical store. It's going to be a bookstore cafe in St. Louis, and this is my journey, and I just like talking about things that I'm going through and talking about the ups and downs of growing a business, being an entrepreneur, being in my 20s, and just kind of like what that looks like. So, like I said, I had a lot of personal stuff going on in my life, and I think I've talked about this before where, you know, when you have a lot of things going on personally, when you have a lot of things going on in your personal life, business doesn't really stop. And I'm not at a point right now where I have a lot of scheduled posts, which helps me get by. So earlier this week, I literally did not have the mental capacity to do any work, but I still had some scheduled posts going up, which saved me. But actively thinking about my business and like moving forward in it, not a thought up here in my head. But as I am working through everything that's going on in my personal life, I'm getting back into the groove of like working. And I wanted to make this video because recently it's February and I've been talking about how we had two events this week. The first event was my first book club event for Warm Pages, and we were reading Sweet Heat. And so I have been talking about, I announced a book like the first week of January, and I sold tickets and I made like a group discussion on Instagram and like all those things. And I had 7 people buy a ticket. Now the tickets were like $10, just put something to kind of help me the cost of food and everything, even though I put way more into the event. 7 people, 7 tickets sold, which I was fine with because I was able to do a little extra because I only had 7 people coming. And out of those 7 people, one person actually showed up. And, you know, my creative person that has been helping me, her name is Destiny, we together put together a very, very cute event. All the decorations, it was Galentine's theme, chocolate strawberries, cookies, cute little lemonade with the strawberries and the lemon in it. And I posted it on our Instagram, but I'll throw some pictures up on the screen. Very, very cute event. Everyone was walking away with their own bouquet of flowers and a gift bag. The bouquet of flowers was like a surprise that nobody really knew about. And also everyone had got like it was like a chocolate roses, a little bouquet of chocolate roses in the gift bags. I had some leftover notebooks and bookmarks from the other event and a coupon for any future purchases with Warm Pages. I had my table with all the merchandise from Warm Pages if anybody wanted to buy from it. Like very, very cute. And I was super excited about the event. So I think I was hit with, for the first time since doing this, and we hadn't really had our solo event by ourselves yet, or I hadn't really had an event. Like I wanted to bring a lot of community events this year as we continue to grow the brand. Oh, I think it's recording. No. Hello? I think it's still going. Okay. As we continue to grow the event, grow the brand, I wanted to have more events. So, this was what felt like my first disappointment. And I've seen on threads where people be like, people RSV for events and then they just don't show. And it's like, I see what y'all talking about. I see exactly what you mean by that, because 7 bought tickets, not that they were free tickets. Like, you spent your money. I thought that was a for sure confirmation. And life happens, things happen. Something may come up where you can't go anymore, and it's so far in advance that because I understand. I know the same thing happens to me. You think you're gonna be free that day, and then stuff moves around, and you're not free no more. And so it's like I completely understand. There's so many different variables as to why everybody didn't show up, and there's so many different variables. And I thought and I reflected on all the different things that I could have done differently to have more people show up and be there. And once I posted about it, and I posted the pictures and everything, and how cute it was, everyone was like, "Oh, I wish I could have come," or "I didn't see this," or "I would definitely would have been there." And it's just like, no. I appreciate it. But all the money and the effort and like everything putting into the event, I had to think about it a couple ways because everything can be true at the same time. Yes, I was bummed out because we didn't have the attendance that we wanted. And the fact that once I realized that nobody else was going to show up, that's when I started to feel like my energy started to deplete because, it after, okay, 4 o'clock, 4:15, 4:30, 4:45, I was like, I don't think nobody else is showing up. And that was honestly heartbreaking. That really hurt my feelings because I was like, dang, I put all this energy and effort, and you want people to have a good time. You want people to come to something. And I wanted you to feel like your money's was worth, even if like I should have been charging way more for the ticket, but I want us to be accessible. And then once we actually have a physical space, I probably won't even charge for book club. Like, so it's just like, I ate the cost of everything that I put into the event, and it honestly just didn't feel good because nobody benefited from it. All the chocolate strawberries and the little knickknacks and everything and the decorations, but did it look cute? Yes, absolutely. It looked cute as fuck. Like, it looked so good. And everyone said how cute the space, how we had really transformed the space, because like a little pop-up situation. Like, we just popped up, and then so it's just like, it was very, very cute, and it was fun putting it together, and it showed what me and my creative partner and like what we can do once what we can do, because it was like our first time working together too, putting the events together. So it showed us that we could actually do this and that it was fun. But it didn't feel good when no one showed up, because I'm in my head, I'm thinking seven people guaranteed. Some people guaranteed. And it's like, I could have posted more about it, but I'm like, I'm posting in our group discussion that we have on Instagram. I posted graphics on our Instagram. Everyone was into it. So it's like, maybe I could have posted more. Maybe I could have. And it showed me that, when you post on social media, and I've always knew, like, rule of thumb, like, talk about your business every day, because every day there is somebody new that is discovering you. And that is true, because even when I posted about it, like, I never seen this. I never seen that this was going on. And it's like, I could post about it, but people just may not see it. And yeah, I just feel like I was faced with the harsh reality of people may buy a ticket, people may sign up to come to something, and they may not show up. And that's okay, because I understand life happens. Like, life happens. I get it. But it doesn't mean that I don't feel bad about it. And it doesn't mean that I had to come home and unload my car with all this extra stuff that I bought, and all the added, because like veggie tray and a bag of chips and the juice, and making that look cute, and all the little mini decorations and all the little small details that go into making something look really cute. Just like, no one benefit from it. Even though everyone was like, oh, this is so cute. Like, it was a very expensive photo op. That's what's I literally was just talking to one of my other business partners, and I was like, yeah, it was just a very expensive photo op. And I am grateful and thankful that I have been, I don't want to say generating people, but I have people in my circle and in my corner that understands and gets what I'm talking about. And I'm just so grateful to have that community of people where I'm like, we could really talk about the real stuff that goes on with owning and having a business, because there are so many highlights, but there are real case scenarios like this where you feel really bummed out. And I I was so bummed out the whole weekend. I really was. And I had to get myself out that mental rut because I was like, business doesn't stop. And rather one person, two people, three people showed up, somebody showed up to it. And, they said they had a good time and they definitely going to go attend more things that we're going to have, or just, more events that's happening in St. Louis. And it's just like, when you are just the consumer of a business, you don't really truly understand all the behind the scenes that go into it. And it's like I had to pick myself back up and say, we have another event that's happening literally 1 week from now. And now I can't afford to shut down and allow my feelings of what happened get the best of me, because that's just business and we move on. And I seen a post on Threads and someone was like, I've hosted events where I had 4 people show up and I've hosted events where I had 8,000 people show up. Either way, if I never hosted the event that had 4 people show up, I would have never made it to the event where 8,000 people showed up. And that just goes to show, when I was talking to my last entrepreneur diaries and I was talking about listening to Meech, and he was talking about, continuing to do the thing, not knowing what the outcome is going to be. And if I give up because only one person showed up to an event, I won't know what it would look like if 10, 15, 20 people show up to a book club event or just an event in general. And once we have a physical space, it's just like people just got to show and come out. And so it's like I see the things on Threads when people are like, we want to host stuff, but like no one shows up. And it's like I think it's very important to show up, especially support y'all indie bookstores, because one thing I'm learning in this journey is, one, all the work that goes into it for an independent author to market, publish, get their book out there, and then also learning from a independent bookstore is getting community to come out and actually attend these events. And I didn't let it discourage me, but I did allow myself to sit in the feelings because it did not feel good. And that's okay that it didn't feel good, because obviously you put all that work in it and you want people, my thing is I just want people to enjoy everything that we did, like, and do a little shopping. And, I did make 2 orders that day. So it's just like, it was worth it because, one, and I have people tell me, people are going to see that you're not playing around and you're actually hosting events and putting things together. And I don't want people to feel like I'm just taking their money and they're not getting anything out of it. And I'm always thinking about the consumer and their experience with us. And yeah, that's just what it's gonna be. So we move on. I move on, and we just keep going and keep planning and keep figuring out other stuff that we could do. And then obviously the biggest goal is to actually have a physical location. That's the biggest thing. And so it's like, it's only up from here. And it was definitely a learning experience. And it showed me that there are moments in this that are not going to feel good. And I always believe that 2 things can be true at the same time. And so, yeah. That's my spiel. And it was like, I put so much, and I was so tired because I'm ripping and running, going to all these stores, looking at decorations, thinking about, oh, should I do this? What about if somebody don't want all these sweets? Let me get a veggie tray. Oh, what if they don't want? Let me get some chips. And it's just like, but it's okay. That's just what business is. That's just the art of it all. And no, I definitely feel like I have not been getting good sleep with everything combined. And I've just had such a crazy week. Come on, like I've had such a crazy week on top of me dealing with my business, on top of me still trying to, I have another event that's coming up, on top of still planning. Like I have the first 6 months of the year planned out for Warm Pages and so many different things in between, and authors wanting to do I feel like because we're supposed to do like an author book signing and Q&A. So it's like, once I do that, that's going to open up to more authors being like, oh, can I have the same thing, or can we do the same thing? And it's just like, this is why I want a physical space so bad, because it would just make it so much more easier, because then I can organize those things. And it's just like, I just haven't found my momentum yet. And I feel like I'm adding products to the store, and I just want to get back into the groove of packing orders and having inventory on stock and just figuring out a good rhythm with everything, on top of my video editing, on top of just being there for my friends and my family and myself. And business don't stop. But the money has to be made, and the growth of the community and everything behind Warren Pages has to keep going. So I am looking forward to just, looking back on this and being like, hey, remember when you did your first book club and only one person showed up? And it's okay, because that just happens. And yeah, so yeah, y'all, I'm gonna hop up off of here because that's all I have to say. I just really wanted to talk about that and like how I felt and where I was mentally. But I feel like I'm getting back into the groove of everything, and I'm getting back into wanting to do my work and getting back to the goals and just some. But you have to, I feel like you have to allow yourself to feel those things, because your feelings are valid. I'm human at the end of the day. Like, I did feel disappointed in the fact that I put all this work in and nobody came. Like, it felt like throwing a party and nobody showing up. Like, that doesn't feel good. So it's just like I allow myself to sit in those feelings and those emotions, but at the end of the day, like, I had to pick myself back up and just talk with those that are close to me about it and listen to their encouraging words and encourage myself again. And here we are. So growing pains. And yeah, so I will see y'all in my next video. Hopefully it's a vlog. Bring y'all with me. I have not been vlogging or anything, but yeah, I have always all my links down below. If what am I gonna say? All my links down below. Yeah. And thank you so much for watching this video. I will see y'all in my next video. Sincerely, an entrepreneur.